Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is David, this is David K Reacts, and here on this channel I ramble with articulation, I hope, about the musical, audio and visual elements of different videos that I check out. And today we're doing something slightly different. This is Video Game Month, and today I'm checking out a video called Warbringers Jaina, featuring Laura Bailey as the voice of Jaina Proudmoore. I didn't realise this was recommended to me a while back by R.M. Dewberry, so thank you for the recommendation. And I didn't realise this is an animated short, so we're kind of getting a vocal performance and a short film at the same time. Don't really know what I was expecting, but I just didn't clock that that was what was going to be happening. So that's kind of cool. Laura Bailey, we've actually seen on the channel, or we've heard on the channel already. She was the voice of Grace in the video that I did on the music of Stray Gods. A little way back. I will put a card up here. Go and check that out if you haven't seen it. It's an amazing video game where you actually control the lyrics and music of a musical by how you respond to people. And I didn't really analyze a particular... Well, I focused on a particular song, but more about how interesting all the different variations were. So do check that out. But this time, this is just a short film based in the Warcraft universe. Laura's credits are crazy. She was Abby in The Last of Us, definitely part 2. I don't know if she's in part 1 or not. She actually got a small role in the TV series as well. She has played Gwen Stacy and Black Widow in a bunch of Marvel things, and actually in the recent Spider-Man video games, which have been huge on consoles and PC and stuff not that long ago. She is the voice of Mary Jane Watson. She's on Critical Role. Tons of stuff. Mass Effect, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the Warcraft universe, where she has voiced Jaina Proudmoore for years, and in lots and lots of different sort of contexts, I think. I have no idea what this short is going to entail, so the small amount of backstory for anybody who doesn't know Warcraft. It's a video game, it's been around for a while. It started as a strategy game back in the late 90s? Early 2000s? I forget. I'll put the year up if I can find it. Well, when I find it. And there were 3 of those, I think, plus expansions and things like that, and they were very, very well received. And then World of Warcraft came around, which is a massively multiplayer online RPG that is insanely successful. And there was a movie made of it and a bunch of other things and lots of media. Jaina Proudmoore has been around at least since Warcraft 3. I don't know if she was in the lore previously. But she, the games and the universe is all about the endless strife between humans, orcs, trolls, elves, dwarves, the undead, demons, all that sort of thing. And Jaina is the most powerful human sorcerer alive. She is a huge beacon for humanity in that sense. And I don't know what information about her is going to be relevant to this short, so I'm just going to consume it as it comes. To that end, there's not really a lot more I have to say about this one because I don't know what I'm expecting. Therefore, I will simply say welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. If it is, the way I work, I'm going to watch this straight through, beginning to end, and I will comment an emote over the top of it. I will then go back and watch it a second time, and that time I will pause, interrupt, and offer what analysis and commentary I feel I can, based on what I've just seen and heard, and the foreknowledge of having watched it the one time before. Please do like the video, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and if you would like to support the channel in some way, you can head over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts and leave a one-off donation there, or you could go to patreon.com/DavidKReacts, where I have a single tier of $2 Canadian for ongoing support of the channel, also gets you access to my Discord, or you could leave a super thanks here on YouTube. Any of those are very gratefully appreciated, but no pressure. I think that's everything, so without any further delay, we're going to check out Warbringers Jaina, featuring the voice of Laura Bailey. Sorry, false start. We got literally 4 seconds into the video in which we got an evocative opening, was my comment, and then an advert played, so fingers crossed that won't happen again. The atmosphere created by this image is so good. Oh, there she is.
Beware, the sea.
Oh, wow.
Beware, I heard him cry.
This is gorgeous.
Words carried upon the ocean breeze as he sank beneath the tide.
Oh.
Those blood-soaked shores of Kalimdor, where sailors fought and died, the admiral fell at their amour because she left his side.
This is beautiful. So much detail.
Across the ocean deep, the admiral followed west.
There's the anchor.
What else but sail to save a daughter's life and brave stood the ground. But there he found upon those distant shores enemies on the rise. But when he faced those savage foes, his daughter stood aside.
This is really powerful.
And buried deep beneath the waves, betrayed by family, to his nation with his last breath cried, beware the daughter of the sea.
Oh, wow. This is extraordinary. Beautiful animation.
I'm listening now. Father.
Oh, that just gave me chills.
I heard across a moonlit sea the old voice warning me. Beware, beware, the daughter of the sea. Beware, beware of me.
Whoa. Even if you see it coming, that's powerful. Wow. What an amazing short. For the Battle of Azeroth expansion. Okay. Anything else? No. Oh! Wow, that's an amazing piece of music. It's interesting. There's points of that where the music is almost an afterthought, because the way it's mixed in with the sound effects too, you know it's going on, but it's not the focus of what's actually happening. That's extraordinary. What information is there about this? Very little. Directed by Doug Gregory, art and illustration by Laurel Austin, Vasily Zorin, Jonathan Fletcher, and Yewen Park. Written by Robert Brooks, music composed by Logan Laflotte. Interesting. No. Let's have a quick glance on IMDb. There's no credits of the performers. Blizzard, tut-tut. Warbringers animated shorts. Okay, so they're broken into this. There's a couple of them by the looks of it. 3 of them, in fact. Sylvanas, it's Sylvanas Windrunner. And Azshara, I'm not familiar with, I don't think. But anyway, let's have a look at Jaina. Okay, just Laura Bailey. I don't know who the others were. Maybe like a standard choral group that Blizzard uses for their music? I don't know. Soprano soloist Grace Davidson is listed under music department. Produced, of course, by Taka Yoshida. Editing by Anna Pacheco. Great job on that front. And supervising sound designer Paul Menicini. Again, great job. There's some fantastic stuff in this. That is a beautiful piece. Let's go back and watch it. Oops. I'll cover that. For anyone who hasn't seen my channel, by the way, I will always cover up anytime I accidentally show this not full screen because I have so many tabs open. And every now and then there's something up there that I'm behind an NDA with for my... Well, I'm a video game developer in my day job. And I don't want to accidentally give something away, so... Yeah, let's watch this again. That was fantastic. Very haunting. It's a shame, I guess my caps are on, but I'm not getting them. There's a couple of things there. I'm not 100% sure I got all of the lyrics. Actually, just before I do that, has somebody posted the lyrics? Okay, I'm back after a quick search, and I do have the lyrics to this, so I'm going to have them open in a note so I can reference them if I'm not hearing them clearly. There's just a couple of points where the sound, like the waves or the sorcery at points, are mixed a little louder, which is absolutely fine. But just, you know, while I'm going through this, it's nice to know what's being said or sung. So, yeah, all right, here we go again. This is effective, just having these little motes of ash, snow, whatever it is, ash, I would guess, kind of floating across the screen, or maybe sorcery, before we see anything else. It gives you something to kind of catch on to, and then we're going to open up in a second to the full landscape, and you're already drawn into it. Reminds me a little bit, just a touch, of the opening to Final Fantasy VII, which might or might not be relevant later this month. We'll see. But that had like green motes of light energy kind of flashing through the screen before it focused in on its the first character that you see in the beginning of its intro. And it struck me then that it was great because there's something pulling you in, and then more stuff gets revealed. And I like the use of it here. I think this is very effective. And this is so descriptive. In a single frame, the sun hazy, setting in the background of a grey and windy scene, the buildings just wrecked by war, presumably, and all these swords just sticking out of the ground. Just that. The desolation of this scene, straight away, it hits you. You can't get away from it. It's there, and it's just such a potent beginning to all of this. And immediately we see the anchor. You see that because it's brighter than the sword it's on. It catches your eye very, very quickly. We see that before you see that leads you to the hand, which leads you to Jaina herself. Starting with humming is so great. It gives this a very contemplative feel. You get the sense that she's leading to something herself. She's not quite there yet. And I really, really like the simplicity of just that against the wind. It's very, very effective. Great job with that. And then again, we get this anchor in full focus, which is going to be so important throughout this video. The flash of light, I love that touch. In animation, little touches like that, the flash of light as she shifts it around slightly is so great. Oh, now I'm getting captions. Oh, that's fine.
The daughter of the sea, beware, I heard him cry.
Again, so simple. Just this very, very melancholy melody that's being sung. It's not particularly complicated, you could catch the ear very easily, but being sung to no background, just the wind and the sound of the wreckage of this ship in the sea. How simple is that? And the creaking of wood, presumably as she's walking by. Or maybe of the ship, I'm not sure. but it's keeping, and this scene in front of us keeps this desolation. She has the blue on, which is the color of the Alliance. She has that blue, the Human Alliance, that is, one of the factions. She has that on under her cloak, but we don't see it yet. We see the little bit of the trim on her cloak, and a little bit of white creeping out from under it, but there's no real color in these pictures. We're keeping on this vision of collapse after a war, of everything just being wrecked after a battle has crashed through a city.
His words carried upon the ocean breeze as he sank beneath the tide.
Oh, such lovely stuff. I love the simple idea of this medallion being the toll to the boatman to take you to... I guess it's also saying this is the ship I'm looking to find. But very, very potent. And I love that we have that beneath the tide, bum, and then in comes the guitar in the background. Lovely stuff. And then, of course, Blizzard presents the crash to black at that point. I like the fact that they waited. They didn't bring that in right at the beginning.
Beneath the tide. Those blood.
The Foley in this and the sound effects are fantastic. Foley is basically sound effects created by people, so footsteps, clothing brushing as they walk past, chewing, whatever it happens to be, things like that. That's Foley. And then sound effects would be things like the bells and what have you. Stunning work, the sound in this.
Those blood-soaked shores of Kalimdor, where sail.
I like how they're breaking up the notes that we've got here. The melisma, which is what you call it when you sing the same lyric across several notes. So same syllable, I should say. Kalimdor. I like that that's how they've broken it up, because it's keeping focus on certain sounds. That Kalimdor, the or at the end of it, it's a lovely sound to sort of end on. Kind of ends with a more open vowel. Very, very sort of good use there, I think, of picking the sound that you're going to finish a phrase with.
Of Kalimdor, where sailors fought and died.
The animation style here is phenomenal. I love what they've done with the artwork, because we don't need to see crazy amounts of detail to understand what's around her in the water. You get the shot as her hand gets closer and closer there and then pulls away, and then we just have this distant shot with... It's almost like blurring, but drawn. And I think that's wonderful, because you don't need that much detail. We understand exactly what's happening. The detail is focused on her in the boat, the light, the ferryman, the sorcery flowing through the water. That's enough. We don't need more than that. Really, really lovely stuff.
Fought and died. The admiral fell at their amour because she left his side.
Now, I don't know enough to know that an admiral is Jaina's father. I'm not that familiar with sort of the lore. Maybe that's something... If it was in Warcraft 3, I would have known it, because I played that. I've never played World of Warcraft. MMOs, as a general rule, don't interest me. And I know this is huge, and I probably should have done. I think I played about 20 minutes of it at one point. But I like the fact that at this point in time, I don't know if we should know that or not. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe it's never been mentioned before until now. But I like the fact that if you don't know that, it's very conceivable that she's singing about somebody else, and she's almost like taking on like a sort of clerical duty to go and say the last rites over a ship or something like that. You don't necessarily connect it with she's singing about herself and the sorrow that she feels for having left her father's side. Lovely, lovely stuff.
She left his side.
I love that it picks up just a little bit there. It's not like a crazy amount, but there's just a bit of a push forward there, and these voices coming in asking her questions, which are just as likely to be the questions she is asking herself in this moment. But the fact that it's the chorus asking her kind of gives it a little bit more weight. It's everybody else asking her, why did you forget? Really, really nice stuff. And I love that as we're going through these, we have the sorcery coming with her, guiding them on their way, but also guiding us as viewers, like it's taking us forward where the boat is currently sailing. Really, really nice stuff. And then again, in the art style, these simple things like this patch of light here, where presumably there's a structure or a derelict that's here that's causing these shadows, but we still see simple things, but it gives so much character to the scene. Really, really nice. And again, this kind of blurred, we don't need the details of the wood or anything like that. We can tell what's going on here. This is so nice. The eye is drawn to the important elements. The light, the boat, the sorcery. That's what matters in this case. And yet you can see down here little bits of metal, presumably, that are shining slightly as the sorcery, the light emanating from the sorcery passes over them. Great detail. And the way that this is being sung, how could she go astray? There's something a little more spoken than sung about it. How could she go astray? It's not how could she go astray, which is, you very likely find on a lot of songs. But they're singing it in a way that it's kind of designed to be a little bit more speak feel, like natural conversation in the rhythm of the singing, but also in a way that kind of, I think because all of these lines are being sung with a bit of pace to them, pride of our nation's eyes, whatever the previous ones were, it gives it a sense of tension. Like the questions are rushing at her a little bit, and I really, really like that. And I love this moment where the sorcery catches up, and now all of a sudden it becomes, this skull element for a moment, and she doesn't acknowledge it. She just stares straight ahead. You can see the concern, maybe a little sadness in the way her eyes have been drawn here. Lovely stuff. And then she looks right at the end, and then they hit the storm. Lovely stuff. This is beautifully, beautifully put together.
When she did flee across the ocean deep, the admiral followed west.
This is so lovely too. The way the harmony is dropped back in the arrangement, so the soloist can still focus on the four, but we still followed west in the backing there, just kind of still coming through, but not the focus of what we're listening to. It's really nice.
Admiral followed west. What else but sail to save a daughter's life and pray stood the breath.
I love here that we're having the lyrics about sailing to save the daughter's life, and at the same time the daughter is going through this storm and weathering it. Like she's in the boat, she's, closed eyes, and then is back to looking forwards, just driving, going after. Now she's the one sailing after somebody. I love that switch. That's really, really nice. Also love that we're still getting this focus on the anchor. It's so much brighter than anything else about this ship. We can't miss the anchor. It's just there all the time.
Stood the breath. But there he found upon those distant shores enemies on the rise. But when he faced those savage foes, his daughter stood aside.
I love that verse so much. I love the linger on foes. We have the extra few beats on foes to focus on his fate. And then his daughter stood aside. She was there, but she didn't help. What a powerful thing to be conveying. It's extraordinary. And I think the way they've chosen to tell this, like, you have the silhouette against, like, the silhouette almost makes, presumably this is the Admiral, he looks unimportant in the scene almost, like he's outclassed by, obviously this is not to scale, orcs are not this big, but he looks outclassed because there's the colour and the detail in the orcs that we're seeing here. And then we cut to this scene where clearly him fighting the war chief, presumably, or whoever it is that he's taking on in battle right here, is important. We're still seeing more detail in the orcs in the foreground than we are in him. It's a really interesting choice to keep the focus off him almost, even while the eye is drawn to him because of the light and the dynamic poses that we've got going on there.
When he faced those savage foes.
And only as we get close, like here, we start to see, you can see the trim on the hat. You can see a little light on the hand, like the details start. And to be fair, if you're a long way away from somebody, that's how focus would work. You'd get more detail as you got closer to them. But it's a really nice choice that they actually did that. Really, really cool. And then we get the detail around this kind of rock cavern or whatever is happening in the background here, that the light is coming through. This is so beautifully drawn.
When he faced those savage foes,
and I love that Foes holds on while we get the sound of a swinging weapon, the crash of the thunder, and this beautiful and yet so, you know, sad and dark image that we have in the background here. It's just so well put together, and the birds flying away from the thunder. This is magnificent, and what a sad thing to see on the screen while you hear his daughter stood aside. And then we superimpose her momentarily over it before that fades away. That is so powerful. And only now do we get light. Really light. Like light not from her own sorcery. That's extraordinary. And all the faces, presumably, of the people who she let down, staring down at her. Wow. This is... Goodness, this is powerful stuff.
and buried deep beneath the waves, betrayed by family, to his nation with his last breath cried, beware the daughter of the sea.
Wow. What a... It's... Oh, betrayed by family. Beware my own daughter. She didn't listen to my warnings. It's... Oh. Wow. This is crazy. It's so well put together, and it's so impactful. And I love that...
His nation with his last breath cried, beware the daughter.
I love that as the sorcery comes in, it switched to seeing her reflection in the water rather than seeing her. That was a brilliant transition there. And the sense of scale, even in this shot, when you're barely seeing anything of the ship, but she's just drifting away into the background as the deck of the ship rises higher and higher. And then it's like she's lifting the anchor itself as she lifts up the ship. Just wonderful, isn't it? And I love that we're getting that little bit of light coming in, but it's not reaching her. It's only on the ship itself. The sense of scale is so good. She's just this tiny figure. Well, this gargantuan, galleon, man of war, whatever it is, I don't know my ships. Risen from the depths before her. That's extraordinary. And still, so little colour other than sorcery. Even when we're closing in, that was a good time to stop actually. We get a little bit of blue on the cloak now, we're seeing a little more detail there, but really all the colour is in her eyes.
I'm listening now. Father.
Oh, to see him wearing the anchor too. So I'm guess this is a little bit of guesswork here, but I am guessing that was the ferryman was the spirit of her father taking her back to the shipwreck. Is that what I'm getting from that? I don't know. If somebody has a different take on it, let me know in the comments. But that's what I'm thinking right now.
I heard across a moonlit sea.
The way this fades in too, my goodness. The animation in this is amazing. I love that we see, even as we're fading in, you can make out even now that she is standing on the deck. You can see her silhouette there. But as it fades in, the clarity that comes as the mist parts and the ship becomes clearer, oh, it's incredible. It helps that she's directly above a light too, because the eye is drawn to the two light sources, so you catch her presence quite easily.
Across a moonlit sea, the old voice warning me. Beware.
Again, the lack of colour in everything except now we see her blue and white. Now we see her regalia. And yet, everything else, no colour, just these dreary greens and browns and greys. And so she stands out now. And I think it's kind of indicative at this point that this is the character we're talking about. She's standing out because this is her.
Beware, the daughter of the sea. Beware, beware of me.
I love that so much. It's really, really well done. It kind of gives itself away at the ending there, which is fine. But I love that we have that beware.
Beware.
Yeah. Beware. Beware. Sung. And then the of me spoken. So powerful. But specifically then, the boom coming in at the end. A totally different sound instrumentally to what we've been listening to recently. We've heard these strumming guitars, and then the ominous nature of her understanding and accepting her role in all of this. Oh,
Beware. Beware.
and you have beware, the strum of the guitar, slow strum at that point. Beware is unaccompanied. We've got this kind of drone almost going on quietly in the background that's still carrying on, but no guitar accompaniment, and then of me spoken, and then the instrument hit. That breakdown to that final moment is wonderful.
Of me.
And we're left with the same sound of wind that we had opening the video. That is fantastic. That's a really, really good... I love... Sometimes these things I feel work better than others. These sort of short, spaced around game worlds and things. Now, Warcraft has an immense lore base built up about it, so it makes total sense that it would work well. But, like, I've seen a couple for League of Legends long before Arcane was made. We're talking, 4 or 5 years ago. No, probably longer than that. Maybe 7 or 8 years ago. And they were good, and they kind of showed off the characters in a fun light, but I don't think they were quite as successful. This one, I think this has such a story to it. It's really powerful. Gets the emotion a little bit. Beautiful singing. Laura's got such a lovely voice. And the kudos to the other singers as well. This is great. Really, really enjoyed that. Thank you to RM Dewberry for bringing this to my attention, because I would not have known about it otherwise. I don't really dig into Warcraft stuff much. But that was fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. That's going to be everything for now. More video game stuff to come. But thank you for spending some time with me now. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope I brought something to you, whether it's the world of Warcraft, no pun intended, or, this song, this piece of music. Laura Bailey herself, go check out other stuff by her. She's great. whatever it happens to be, I hope I brought something to you today, and that's my goal here. So if I did, I am a very happy man. Thank you for spending your time with me. Please do like the video, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and if you'd like to donate to support me, you can do at buymeacoffee.com/DavidKreacts or patreon.com/DavidKreacts or here on YouTube with a super thanks. That's everything for now. Back soon, but thank you very much. Have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, morning, evening, nighttime, whatever time it happens to be, 9:53 a.m. I don't know. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now. I will see you in the next video.